I'm Ben Abell, a Hallam lecturer and branch secretary for our local UCU branch. We're balloting members for strike action in response to the university's decision back in September 2024 to implement a pay freeze. This is essentially due to forecasting a large budget deficit and the need to satisfy creditors. More details later. This means that the 2.5% national pay uplift will not be awarded to staff until July and with no backdating. This is already an insulting pay award, matching only the lowest measures of inflation and falling well below average pay awards nationally, including around 5.5% awarded to public sector workers across the UK. It also follows 15 years of pay erosion, which amount to a loss of about 30% of our pay. So it's also worth noting that Sheffield Hallam is one of only 12 universities across the country who are implementing a pay deferral, mostly much smaller colleges who are much more affected by national financial issues. And there are no other universities in our Yorkshire and Humberside region, even though many universities are under the same kind of national cost pressures. So overall, this pay freeze equates to a real terms pay cut of around 3%, and that means that those on the boundary between lecturer and senior lecturer would lose about £1,200 of their pay. So we can't stand by and allow the university to use our pay to solve self-inflicted problems of excessive borrowing and spending. Coming back to some of those financial details, we know that there's sector-wide difficulties, but these have been amplified by local mismanagement. Hallam has made surpluses for many years in the last decade, until a few years ago it went into excessive borrowing and spent over £200 million on new buildings, and it's continuing to invest over £10 million in London campus, which is now even being turned over to become a franchise operated university, which is not in the interests of our staff. It would be basically generating profits for private investors. This situation is having a serious impact on all UCU members, and even more so on our colleagues on the lowest pay scales working in vital roles across the university. Our plan is to access financial information that's been withheld. Some of our requests for information over the past months have been met, but we're not being given a full picture on the finances. We'll be making an accurate assessment of the current financial situation and asking the university to exhaust all options to generate income from other means, such as selling buildings that are no longer required. We're also asking that no further spending is wasted on our London campus, especially if it's going to be a franchised operation. And we want to ensure that any available funds that are made through improvements in the financial position, such as enhanced student recruitment, will actually be used to return our unpaid earnings. We mostly insist that we will not do unpaid work. Any loss of pay must be compensated with additional leave as a bare minimum, as a core principle. It's clearly possible for the Executive Board to meet these requirements. So what can you do? We're asking you to vote yes for local industrial action when you receive your ballot paper. This will give us the best chance of negotiating a return of your earnings and resolving this dispute. However, we're committed to representing your view. So most importantly, please return your ballot paper whichever way you choose to vote. Our branch has a strong record of achieving positive outcomes due to the strong support of members, even in difficult circumstances. So a brief summary is that we've prevented this year compulsory redundancies, defended many core employment policies, including pay protection, redeployment, and the attempt to make senior lecturers take on line management. We've also defended some of the rights of the contested new post of academic tutors at grade 6, sickness absence policy, and union rep time, which is being used to support members. We've also ensured that associate lecturers get holiday pay in the last few years. We've negotiated improved academic work planning tariffs from the previous dispute a few years ago, and that's providing important protection to members now. It equates to a couple of weeks of people's time as work plans are reaching 100%. We've also ensured that many other university policies that they've tried to impose have been modified so that they're acceptable to members, such as lecture capture policy. We've also had a strong national defence of the USS pension, and although that only affects a small number of members at Hallam, it has really important indirect effects on maintaining pension rights across the whole sector, including us. So finally, we also support many people on an individual basis. All of this support we're able to offer is based on the fact that we have a strong union and we tackle any unfair policies that are brought down by management.